Thousands of people in Wales live in flats that are at risk of fire. The properties are worthless. There is a Welsh Grenfell waiting to happen. I visited Victoria Wharf and shot a video showing the incredible toll this is having on residents, and 750,000 people have viewed the video and saw and heard residents say that they wrote to you and the First Minister, and I quote, "They've heard not a word." They did get a response from Linda Thorne, the Cabinet Member for Housing in Cardiff, saying, and I quote again, "The problem is that members of the Welsh Government are up for election in May next year, and so although the Housing Minister is committed, everything depends on the result of those elections." It's shameless that you seem to be trying to blackmail people into voting Labour instead of addressing the very serious problems. The Conservatives in London have introduced a £1 billion fund to start fixing the problems in England, but a civil servant in Wales has stated, whilst the Welsh Government will receive some consequential funding, it is for Welsh ministers to decide how this money will be spent in Wales. So have you actually decided now? And can the thousands of people, thousands, living in unsafe flats that are now worth nothing, expect some kind of government help and government action and a response, whether there's an election or not?
Well, what's shameless, Llywydd, is that performance there, I have to say, and you'll have heard from the Minister for Housing and Local Government just last Wednesday that the Welsh Government is committed to exploring ways forward. We recently published our position statement, and that proposes a new building safety regime that puts the safety and well-being of residents at its heart, to ensure that people feel safe in their homes regardless of tenure, and that the ethos applies throughout the design, construction and occupation of those affected buildings. And those reforms will go much further than just making improvements to high-rise buildings. This is about making sure that all residents in Wales are safe. In terms of that piece of correspondence, clearly it would have had a response from the Minister for Housing and Local Government's department. If it hasn't arrived yet, I'm sure it will be on the way shortly, because obviously the Minister for Housing is the appropriate person to address that issue. In the case of Victoria Wharf in Cardiff Bay, I do know that officials are due to meet with the chair of the Residents' Association shortly to discuss this issue further.